This is Wake and Bake with Reverend Kim. Mahatma Gandhi was the leader of India's non-violent independence from British rule, and again in South Africa, advocating for the civil rights of Indians. He organized peaceful boycotts and movements, inspiring future human rights leaders Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. We usually just call him Gandhi, but Mahatma means great soul. And he is spoken of as such, in highest regard, and worshipped by many, considered one of the greatest human beings of all time. Time magazine named him Man of the Year in 1930. He embodied what he spoke. He showed us how to be the change he wished to see in the world. He showed us how it's done, making change the way he beat it, especially when it was hard. He did it. He led the way for that. He had deep wisdom. He also taught us that an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. He's quoted saying that the weak can never forgive, that forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. He said that an ounce of practice is worth more than tons of preaching, and that happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Another quote from the great soul, he said, "I claim to be a simple individual, liable to err like any other fellow mortal. I own, however, that I have humility enough to confess my errors and to retrace my steps." He said it is unwise to be too sure on one's own wisdom. It is healthy to be reminded that the strongest might weaken and the wisest might err. And he had a wife. It was an arranged marriage in the traditional Indian manner, and they were together for 62 years. They had 4 kids. In 1942, though, she was imprisoned in a British palace and developed bronchial pneumonia. One of their 4 sons wanted her to take penicillin. Gandhi refused. He was okay with her receiving traditional remedies, but he refused any medicines, including the antibiotic, sticking to his Ayurvedic beliefs and saying that the Almighty would have to heal her. 3 days later, she died. 6 weeks later, Gandhi came down with malaria. His doctors offered him a shot. He took it. I can't help it. This brings me right to someone else that I like to quote of modern day. Very modern day. That spunky Ruth from Ozark. I don't know shit about fuck. And I just love it, and I say it all the time. It's so simple. It's so true. It's such a good mantra. I don't know shit about fuck. Gandhi said the same thing in his less eloquent way, right? I claim to be a simple individual, liable to err like any other fellow mortal. I own, however, that I have humility enough to confess my errors and to retrace my steps. I don't know shit about fuck. It is unwise to be too sure on one's own wisdom. It is healthy to be reminded that the strongest might weaken and the wisest might err. I don't know shit about fuck. Come on, say it with me. It's good for us, for all of us. I don't know shit about fuck. Be humble enough to know that you don't know shit. Not when it comes to making decisions for other people. It's hard enough to discern what's right for you. Don't ever presume to know what's best for another, because we really don't know, even with the best intentions. We don't know shit about fuck. We really don't. There's very little we know for sure, and we know even less on behalf of other people. Don't presume. Don't push. Don't pressure. And please, don't judge or shame. Play nice. Stay curious, stay humble, stay lit, and light it up with Reverend Kim.